Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Vicki Johnson for those who do not know me, and for those who know me, then welcome once again. I was on here yesterday talking about, some strategies that I am putting together for 2024. So I am planning on purchasing a home. I'm not sure if it will be a tiny home or RV, a manufactured home. But I know that everything is going up. It's just the way of the world. So I'd rather be purchasing something or paying on a mortgage payment than just renting here in my apartment like I've been doing for about 7 years, just renting. And I'm afraid to really count up the cost of renting for 7 years. I know the money that I have been putting here as far as in a rental property, renting just to live somewhere, I could have really been putting it toward a home, purchasing a home. But yet, in spite of what I have done in the past, I can't go back and reverse that. But I have set some goals for 2024 on some property. And so I am excited to say that I'm moving forward when it comes to purchasing property. And so I have been doing my research, and I did mention some things that I did write down last night. And I believe I will go over some of those again tonight. And we're going to talk about how we can have some passive income. Some income or a sidekick, a side hustle to make us move forward in our planning. So some things that I wanted you guys to look for when you are purchasing a home, a mobile home, RV, tiny home. So things that we need to look for, and ask questions. Make sure you ask the right questions. Why are you selling this home? Is it anything that you need to tell me before we move forward? And to make sure that you inspect the home inside and out. Inspect everything. It is so important that we ask the right questions, inspect the home inside and out. Look for gaps, look for cracks, look for stains, So just prepare yourself to do the work. Because if we fail to ask the right questions, then most of the time it's on us. If we done sign off for a home, and yes, some of them have a little, limited on them when it comes to warranties, and then some, if you buy right out, they don't have any warranties on there or anything. So I did mention home inspections before you actually buy the home. Go out and get you someone that can come in and inspect the home. You might have to pay a little bit more, but it will be worth it in the long run. It would be worth it. So I was reading on Forbes today. Forbes says in 2024 that mortgage rates will surge up, hitting a high of 7.79%. 7.79%. And people will be paying an average of $2,300 a month or more in rental or just purchasing a home. You know, credit has everything to do with your mortgage payment. You know, if you don't have a good credit score, I advise you to get your credit straightened out before you actually consider purchasing a home, because if you consider purchasing something, make sure that you can knock out some of that bad credit and like pay off some bills. Start with the lowest bill. If you can't pay the highest bill, start with the lowest bill. If it's $90, $200, $3,000, pay those bills off, and also check your credit score. You know, you get a free credit score every year. Go on there and pull your credit and know what your score is. Know what you need to tackle with. And as I go through my credit scores, all three credit bureaus, I look at what I need to tackle first. And sometimes my income or my finances may be shaky, and I said, okay, I'm gonna hit the lowest one. If it's $23, $89, $300, I'm just gonna check that list off, go by the list and make sure I can pay off whatever I want to pay off. And if it's any errors on your credit score, if it's an address, old addresses, make sure you get that off, write them and let them know, hey, you no longer ownership of that address. You no longer live there, so can they remove it? You know, if you've been married a couple of times and they have your old names, or they could misspell your name, you know, you look out for things like that. If your name is misspelled, then, you know, that's another thing. The old addresses, remove those. Anything that's incorrect on your credit report, make sure that you get that correct. Make sure that you take it off, have it taken off. Sometimes they will procrastinate and take their own time, but it's really up to you to engage with them. Continue to make sure that they correct that. I can remember for years they had an old account that stayed on my account, and it was the other credit bureaus or the credit people was buying from one another. And soon as I have it removed and I look back on there, it was back on there again, because you know they buy from each other. They buy our credit. And I kept fighting it until they finally removed it. But it took me like 3 years, you know, because they kept selling my credit. And that's another issue you may have. They want you to give up. And I finally had that removed, and they had put, like, I didn't pay that account off. I forgot the name that they put on there. Like, when you don't settle your debt, it's like closed out or paid off or something like that. But I made sure that everything was correct, because I did pay that account out, and I did close that account myself. But I also learned, when you pay something off, don't close the account. You know, that would go against you. If you done paid that credit card off and you no longer use that credit card and you decide to close out that account, that can really hinder you instead of helping you. Another thing just leave the accounts open. And make sure that if you're going to leave that account open, just don't let it sit there, because that can hinder you and they can close that account out if you're not using the card regular. So I learned from that, you have to at least purchase something on there once a month to keep it active and to keep it open. Another thing is to check your credit score. You can check it every day. You can download Credit Karma, and that's who I have. And you can download Credit Rides, and it will show you the things that you need to work on. It will help you, give you knowledge on how to build your credit, you know. So I did have what was that called? Oh God, it was like a credit builder, Self. It's called Self. Never heard of that until I started doing my research to build my credit up. After my divorce, I started really trying to build my credit up to where I can start getting nice things for myself. And at that time, I was wanting to purchase a home, but my credit score was so tore up. And I began to look into Self and a couple of more sites that will help build up my credit. And one thing about Self, you can stay with them for 2 years. And I started out very little, I think $25 a month. It's like a little saving account. And you can put the $25 in there for 2 years. You know, just every month they will take something out of your account. And they will give you that money back after 2 years. So, you know, you done build a little nest right there where you can say, oh, okay. Either you have a choice of getting that money out or restoring it over with them. So they will send you a check in the mail, and you can either cash it out and do whatever you wanted to. But I cashed it out and I put it in my bank saving. So that really helped me. And I think you have to wait to reopen with them. I want to say 3 to 6 months to reopen and start another account. So I am working on that now. That is my goal. And it really helped me out. So I was reading, sorry about that. I was reading on here how in 2024 about the rates are going to go up. The mortgage rates, 7.79%. And we could be paying $2,300 or more. It depends on your credit score. So I always tell people, you know, if you have something to put back, like an emergency fund, put that back. Put something back. You know, I used to say $200, but you know, $200 will get you nowhere these days. So at least try to start out as much as possible. If you can't do nothing but $200 a month, that's fine. These days, we need at least 1,000 to at least start out to do what we need in case of emergency. I always put something back. And sometimes we get in a rough spot, or we get in a spot to where we have to go into that emergency fund due to unforeseen circumstances. I get that, but as soon as you can, replace that money and put it back in there as soon as possible. So I'm going back to the list now, that some things that I have written down, because when I go out, I always asked a lot of questions, and I also take pictures if I notice things out of order, such as maybe the floor, when you walk, the floor might shake or it's wobble on one side, or there are stains in a corner. It may be up in the ceiling that you want to notice, but whatever it is, the sockets may be out of place or some kind of electrical issues going on. We don't know unless we really do our part. I say be a private investigator. Don't be private, but be an investigator. Investigate everything that you can while you're there walking and looking at the home. So one of my things I like to look at is cracks in the ceiling, on the floors, the painting. Sometimes it can be bubble up where there's a reason why the paint is bubble in one area. It may be a leak somewhere, a water issue, a plumbing issue, we don't know. But if there's leaks or bubbles in the walls or something like that, you wanna identify that and see if you can resolve the issue. Look under the trailer or mobile home, manufactured home, or tiny home, and see if there's puddles of water up under there. That could be another issue right there. If you see the skirting around the manufactured home, if it's damaged, that could be another issue. It could be rodents under there, or animals getting up under there. It could be a plumbing issue that they had to, go up under there and try to fix. We don't know. We don't know. And I also mentioned taking a flashlight, because sometimes electricity may not be on, but we can get our flashlight out and check some dark corners out, or closets. When you open the doors, sometimes you can't see well because there's no lighting. And check up under the trailers and manufactured home to see if anything is going on. And let me see. Check the fuel box, the windows, see if they go up and down, see if they close, see if they lock. Any latches on the doors or windows, make sure that everything is working. If you see any rust or mildew, you want to address that, of course. Then you want to check the appliances in the home, make sure that they work. And if they have a fireplace, you want to make sure that they work as well. So make sure that you invest your money and your time wisely. Just don't jump up. And if another red flag to me, if they are selling things, dirt cheap, and they will say, we don't reduce this so many times because it's been out there on the market, where that's a red sign to me. If it's been out there 200 or 300 and something has happened, either the foundation or the roof or plumbing problems, something is going on, because it will not stay on the market that long. And most of the time it's foundation or roofing problems, something major that people don't want to invest their money in to fix. So you have to count up the cost on, should I invest my money in this? You would know a lot of things once you hire somebody to come in and inspect the home. But we can do passive income. Think about, what if I lose my major job and I'm not able to make the mortgage payments, which the mortgage company, sometimes they will work with you on a lot of things. They will put it on the back of the mortgage payment a couple of times, or you can draw from the escrow. It just depends on how much money you have in there. I know when I had my home, they would work with me and sometimes put it on the back payment, and they would give you special lenders that you can work with, and for different types of mortgages and loans to help you along the way. They had different workshops that you can go to and would teach you how to manage your finances and different other things like that. So I just about done tried them all when I had my home. And so we want to keep some passive income. If you know how to speak, you can do public speaking and get paid for. You can do writing, you can do reading. It's a lot of things that you can get creative, and especially if you know how to sew. If you know how to sew, that is a wonderful thing to do. But you also have to keep in mind how to build your clients. Get flyers out. I know people probably don't do the old-fashioned way, but there's the digital way that you can get out flyers, word of mouth. You can advertise on social media. It's a lot of things that you can do these days to kind of piggyback in case of unforeseen circumstances that will come up. And these jobs are not guaranteed today. They are not guaranteed anymore. You can be on a job today, and Texas is an at-will state, so they don't have to have a reason to fire you. They don't have to have a reason to get rid of you. So you have to be one step ahead to make sure that you're going to be financial stable enough to, stay in your home once you purchase it. So, just have something, a plan B or C, and think about, hey, what if? What if? Do I have enough money in my savings? Do I have enough money in my 401k plan? Do I have enough to survive, maybe 6 months to a year that I won't have to worry about my mortgage, And some people have their mortgage draft right out every month of their bank account. Now, I have learned when I had my home before my divorce, we was on a 30-year mortgage. I tried to persuade my husband at that time. I say, why pay 30 years and we can do it in 15 years and own this home? It just made sense to me. And he was looking at, it was much higher if you do it 15 years. I get that. But I'd rather do the much higher payment, mortgage payment, and be done with it. Because once we get in the swing of doing things, that 15 years will pass faster than the 30 years. Then once you get in the habit of doing something, it becomes your norm. It would not no longer become a struggle just to pay that mortgage. But to me, that made sense. But to him, he was looking at the payment increase. And I was looking at how we can pay this off in half. We could split it in half, the time in half, and the home would have been ours. But anyway, that was a teachable, learnable experience for me. I said this time, this go round, I will have a mortgage payment, but if I don't pay it off in cash, I would do a mortgage payment for 15 years. I won't go 30. And I wouldn't care if I have to pay extra. You know, you can pay extra. You know, maybe you can jump on a part-time job for 15 years and you can still have some retirement there. You can look at it that way. Okay, I have a plan here. I'm going to stay on here for 15 years until I pay my house off. I'm going to have a full-time job and I'm going to have a part-time job. I stay on that part-time job along with my full-time job for 15 years. And on that part-time job, you done accumulated some money along with extra benefits, because they are giving benefits now for part-time work. It depends on where you work. So, you know, if you don't have a side hustle, then think about working somewhere in a retail or somewhere, you know, you can do something that you enjoy doing and make that side hustle work for 15 years for you. I think that is all that I need to talk about tonight. I hope this helped you, but it was something else on my mind that I really wanted to address. Oh yeah, I remember now. So I'm not looking just only in Texas for land or purchasing a home, a tiny home, or whatever I decide. I'm looking all over the states, United States, to see what best fit me, you know. So some people will just only look in Texas and that's their choice, but to me, I'm looking at the best option for me, because it's just me and my dog. So if I have to move, you know, then so be it. If I have to move, you know, around the state to get a better price and option, and I want to move somewhere safe. I want to move somewhere that I can have plenty of land to do what I need to do. I want to do some landscaping. I want to do some gardening. So I want to get some land and put something on that land for a reasonable price. For a reasonable price. And I have looked at some other options, and I will discuss them later. Yeah, I think I will discuss them later. But just think of a master plan. Whatever your hands find to do it. And do it into the Lord. You know, sometimes that's our biggest mistake, that we don't acknowledge God in things that we do. And I have been praying about this for a very long time. Before my mother passed, I was thinking about it and praying about it and asking the Lord, where do you want me to go? Because if I do it His way, it's the right way. But if I do it my way, then we might have some issues. But wherever the Lord see fit, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going to plant and settle, wherever the Lord want me. So that's about it. That's it. So I hope you guys really have enjoyed this video. I will be posting a lot more videos into the next year. So I'm off right now and enjoying my holidays, and I have a little space to move around and to get around and do more videos and into next year. Next year is around the corner next week, and after that I have to get on my horse and go to riding again. You know, doing what I do best. So I am here for you guys. I just renamed myself the Motivator, Vicky the Motivator. So I motivate people to get up, and I inspire them to move forward in their dreams, their goals, their passions, whatever your desire is, we can walk it out. We can walk it out. I love that saying, walk it out, walk it out. Because that's what we really doing. Um, we was put here for a purpose. We was put here for a purpose. We was put here to learn, okay, to grow, to love, be creative, be skillful, educate. We was put here for a lot of things, But I thought about this, and I was laying in bed last night, and I was really thinking. I said, my mom gone, my dad is gone, and I thank God for them being here. And the Lord said to me, it was only temporary. I gave them to you temporary. And that's because you had to learn from them. I assigned them to you. That's why you're here. Because your mom and your dad was put here to learn. I was here to learn from them. They was here to teach me how to love, how to be successful, how to move forward in life, to use the skills that my parents blessed me with. I often mention homemaking skills that I regret and I hated when I was 15, but it's paying off. And he said temporary, because I thought about the saying in the Bible saying, this is not our home. We're just temporary here. And we're just like pilgrim passing through this land. So don't get too comfortable, but while we're here, learn on our journey. Learn how to love, learn how to educate others. Don't be afraid to share what you know, especially the seeds that your parents placed inside of you. They have to come out. They have to. That's part of your inheritance. So you can't be greedy and keep it in, because it's impossible for you to keep things in that you have learned. You have to grow, and you have to teach each other how to grow. That's why we go to school and get our education. That's why we go to colleges to get our degrees, to come out and start learning. While we're in there, we're learning. But when we get our degree, we begin to act out what we have learned from that degree. We begin to pull out all the nuggets and all the springs and everything that we have learned sitting so many hours in a classroom or so many hours on the computer. And that's what our parents was teaching us. All those years, if your parents are gone, then you will understand. But all those years that my parents were with me, they was teaching me, they was shaping me and molding me for such a time as this. I don't know why I went there, but I felt like it was necessary to go there. And now I look at life in this journey in a whole different way. And I said this morning, because I have a little cooking channel as well, and I said, I thank God for my parents, teaching me a lot of things. And at that time, I didn't understand why I had to get in the kitchen and learn how to make homemade things from scratch. And my mother said, well, you need to learn these things because they're very important and you're going to get married one day. And I'm like, I'm not going to get married. I'm never going to get married. But guess what? I got married. I got married. So now, I'm single again, but I did get married. But I'm glad I learned. I'm so glad I learned, because if I did not learn the important things in life, I would be, going out every day, eating out every day. And you have some women's out here that don't even know how to fry egg. They never did learn how to get in there and cook for themselves. So now they have to figure out some things, how to make ends meet. And, going out to eat or going over someone's house to eat, that gets old. Both of them get old. So for those who don't know how to cook, follow me. I'll teach you some things. Oh, but anyway, I hope y'all have a great night. I really do. And thank y'all for joining in. I tell you, you just don't know how much I appreciate you guys. I really do. It means a lot. And I get so excited when I get ready to come home. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. So anyway, good night for the third time. That's how the preachers do. They have 3 closings before they actually close it for real, for real. But I'm closing it for real, for real. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.